Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from SegaCityUniverse.com and GravesideEntertainment.com. Excuse me. Something crossed my mind because I had mentioned something in one of my other videos and I just wanted to touch upon it. I thought it was kind of an interesting thing. Nowadays, with the 360 and the PlayStation Network, PlayStation 3 and Vita, everything's pretty much online. The Wii U is online. You can interact with people, you can chat, you can talk to them, play games with them, and then talk to them, and some games see them at the same time, depending on if you have a camera for the system. So this has kind of become the norm in the past few years in terms of gaming, but I just wanted to talk about what I thought was kind of interesting, which I guess is what this whole channel is about, isn't it? What I think is interesting. So anyhow, years ago on the Super Nintendo and the Genesis, there was a little cartridge with a phone jack built in called the X-Band. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's kind of like it was a modem essentially, and you'd pop the game in the top of it, kind of like you would Sonic and Knuckles on the Genesis or like a Game Genie, and you'd be able to connect online and play with other people. You'd have a little avatar and you'd be able to talk with other people. I don't know if you'd be able to actually write a message or if they're just predetermined messages you could pick. But you were able to play online with people. So that was one of the first, or maybe I think the first, forms of online gaming for consoles. The other thing they did online, which isn't really related, is Sega had a Sega Net thing. That was a cartridge with a phone jack. And you were able to download games over the internet, or not really stream them. I guess it was more download. It might have been streaming. They had like a certain amount every few weeks or months, and then when you were done with that game, you could pick a new one, and they would have a certain amount they would rotate or change out every so often. So that was kind of interesting too, but that's not as much as what I'm getting into. I'm talking about more like online play and stuff, or online capability. The Sega Saturn was the next thing that was online, again with a external peripheral, and that was Netlink, and it was a cartridge that fit in the top, and you plug into that, I believe, and again you could play online with people. So Sega seemed to have sort of a jump on things. I think the people who made the Netlink on the Saturn were the same people that made X-Band, except this was an official product now. And my friend PC Wizard 13 had told me that, so if he's wrong, take it up with him. But that was kind of interesting. So the thing after that was online was the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was the first console to have and I have mine still sitting here from before, from my last video. The Dreamcast was the first console to have the built-in 56K in the States, and I think it was 33.8 or 3 in Europe. And back then, the Dreamcast had the internet to play games. They had a browser that you can use on a disc. They had in Japan only, and I believe PAL as well, or no, I think just Japan. They had a peripheral called the Dream Eye, which was a small webcam that you can sort of Skype with people, but also take pictures and upload them to your VMUs. And I think there was a headset as well that went with it that was different than the microphone that Dreamcast came with C-Man. So it wasn't like it didn't sit in the controller and you use it. It was an actual headset, a headpiece. What else did they have online-wise? Dreamcast had DLC, which is kind of interesting. Again, PC Wizard had a couple videos up where he was able to download the DLC now and transfer it to his VMUs through the browser on the Dreamcast, and he got new levels for Crazy Taxi 2 and Choo Choo Rocket. He had some things that changed what the sprites look like in the game. So like instead of mice and cats, it was like, I don't know, dogs and whatever. I'm just giving an example. It wasn't dogs, but so the Dreamcast really, in a way, was ahead of its time. They eventually came out with the Broadband modem, which allowed you to connect your cable modem or fiber optic now too, but through Category 5 cable and I don't know about Category 6, but into your Dreamcast. And that was a limited supply, so those are very expensive. I did get one recently, and some of the games are still online, like Phantasy Star 1 and 2. I know 2 supports the broadband adapter, and Quake 3. There are some other games that support the dial-up still. I believe it's 4x4 Evolution, I think it's called, and that's like a monster truck type game. And pool, there's a pool game, like billiards. So Dreamcast was kind of ahead of its time at that point. Then the PlayStation 2 came out with a external modem, and the Xbox came out with the built-in modem eventually. And that was another big leap for the Xbox, because that was not through the phone, that was through cable modems and such. It was a broadband modem, and everything was kind of built in, and they kind of took it to the next level, for lack of a better term in my Sega mind. So my question is, this is kind of a community question, I guess. Dreamcast kind of kicked it off in terms of building things in and trying to get the ball rolling for online play and downloadable content and video chat and all this stuff. What do you think is the next step in online? We have video chats, we have messaging like texting, we have online play and DLC and downloading demos and downloading full games now, which sadly things are going digital, which I'm not a big fan of. What's the next big thing? What can they do next online with a console, with the new Xbox or with the new PlayStation? What do you think they can do to expand on it? I mean, it's only been like a natural progression of faster and more to do with the internet in terms of your console. What can they do? Is there something maybe PC users are getting right now that you think they would eventually implement into console games online? I'm not really sure. It's kind of an open question, because I'm not really sure what they can do next. You already have your picture in certain games that you can look at other people while you're playing on 360. I know that with the camera. So what else can they do? So if you have any ideas or anything you think that would be cool for them to implement in the future, I was just curious. So kind of a community question, but that was about it. Thanks for watching, guys. It's Vampire Mike from SegaCityUniverse.com and GravesideEntertainment.com. Be good.